Okay. I think I'm streaming. I appear to be streaming. I apologise if I'm saying think a lot. I am currently trying to stream through YouTube and Twitch at the same time today. So I'm just starting a couple minutes early just to see if they're working or not. Okay, it doesn't seem to be. It says it's streaming, but it's not. Okay. Hi, signed. Which you're actually watching through YouTube. Can you actually see the stream? I'm just double checking. Everything's muted at the moment. Everything was muted for a second there. I can see the stream and hear you. Awesome. Fantastic. That's what I wanted to check. Because for some reason, it's having a little bit of a mare. I've been currently trying to stream to... at the moment today, I'm trying to stream to Twitch and YouTube. And it seems to be having a little bit of a problem with Twitch. Okay. As long as you can hear me and see me, then I think we're okay. We'll just have to keep going. Because according to Restream, it was connected and now it's not. So it's having a little, I think. I can see your messages signed. Yes, I can see your messages through this today. Okay. It's going to give it a couple minutes just to see if everything's going to work. I appreciate your patience with me whilst I figure everything out. it seems to be Twitch that's having the issue. Yeah, stick to YouTube. Well, at the moment, it's currently saying it is streaming to both, but it is having some technical difficulties, it seems. So, 1 minute ago it was saying it was fine streaming on Twitch, and now it's saying it's not. So I don't know if that's a Twitch-specific issue. Or whether it's a restream issue, because I've only just downloaded this today. Trying to figure it all out. Just try doing the usual toggle of flicking things off and on Twitch and see if that helps. Apologies, my arms are in the way, guys. I'm just trying to figure some stuff out. Okay. Okay. Right, everything right now is saying it's connected. Everything right now is saying it's live. So there's definitely a tech issue on Twitch's end, though. Very awkward way to start the stream. I'm very sorry, guys. Can I just ask if the desktop audio is okay, if you can hear the background music? And is it too loud at all if you can hear, or is it okay? Whilst I do that, I'm going to quickly just grab my paints for Lion. I've just spent like the last 10 minutes fiddling around trying to work out this rather than getting my paints. So I'll get my paints ready now whilst we are setting everything up. But how is everybody anyway? Is everybody okay? I'm so glad you can use it too, signed. I'm using completely different software. This is very, very... Like, I feel very much like an old lady today because everything is new to me. And I feel like I need to call someone for tech support, but I can't. So it's all very, very new to me at the moment. But I wanted to just make sure everything was set up properly before I moved on to anything else. And according to this, everything is working, so... Very, very bizarre stuff going on with the... Have you tried the Omnissiah? No, I have not. I should probably give him a go, to be honest. He might be able to help me. Good old Rothmer's only just finished work himself, like a few minutes ago. And I've actually been trying to set this up for hours. And earlier on, everything was connected. I connected all the accounts and everything was fine. And then the very second I've gone on to actually stream, it's like it's just decided, well, Twitch has just decided it doesn't like it very much. But according to a little bit of research, aka the good old Google, apparently that's quite common. Apparently Twitch can play up a little bit. So we'll stick to YouTube for now. I'm currently streaming to both apparently, but we'll let the Omnissiah decide if that's actually going to be the case or not. Can you see me currently moving my little guy across the screen as well there? Just want to double check everything is broadcasting and flowing nicely. See everything nicely, fantastic. That is good to know. I'm just trying to find all my colours now. So far we have Balthazar Gold, Abaddon Black, Leadbelcher, Rakarth Flesh, Retributor Armour, Celestra Grey, and Corn Red. So I just need to find Xandri Dust, and I need to find Caliban Green, which is on my little set somewhere. So bear with me 1 second, just well. Where are the itty bitties? The itty bitties are right here. We've decided to keep all the things separate so I can paint them a bit easier. So the itty bitties are just on this little base here. I'm just going to line my paints up that I know I'm using in front of me. So my itty bitties are on this little base here. And then I've got his pack, which is really cool. His shield, which is awesome. His helmet, which I had the option of either putting on his head or kind of on his base. This was technically a head option. And Rothma was like, you should put the helmet on, but I wanted to see his face. So I've said, we can still put it on there, we'll just put it on the base somewhere. And then, of course, his sword. So at the moment, he hasn't got any hands. He's just got nubs. Well, he's got a nub this side. But that's fine. We don't judge the fact that he has a nub for now. Okay, I officially have all my paints now. Apologies for that little delay there. So I was having a few technical problems. I was just trying to figure everything out as I went. If you magnetize stuff, you can switch. That's a very good idea, actually. 1 moment. Okay, we're back. Very, very sorry. It's not the best and most professional first stream on both. But, you know, we're trying our best here. Yeah, I think Twitch is just having some technical issues because everything's saying it's connected on my end and Twitch is just playing up. So I think Twitch is the issue, not necessarily anything else that I've got going on here. But anyway, hello. Sorry it took 10 minutes to set everything up and get everything working right. But I appreciate you sticking around whilst I prepared everything. Now, as you can see, we are painting the lion today, Lionel Johnson. I'm going to quickly show you on Citadel Paints what his face will eventually look like. This is the look we are eventually going for. Very cool, very, very fancy. So I've got everything loaded up now so we can officially start. Okie dokie. Anyway, how is the background music signed? Just gonna see if you've actually already answered that question. No, you haven't. Is the background music okay signed? Or is it too loud, too quiet? Can you hear it at all? All is good. Fantastic. Wonderful. Because apparently last time you basically couldn't hear any of my background audio, so I wanted to check that before I started. So if I had any more technical issues to fix, I'd rather do them all at once. Music and volume isn't too loud. Your voice is nice and audible. Wonderful. Thank you so much. But anyway, welcome to the first stream of me being on maternity leave, officially. And the first stream of this week of painting the lion, which I'm very excited to paint. Technically he is my Christmas present, but I got him early, so he'll be painted early. Yeah, I think what I'll maternity stream. Yeah, I'm officially on maternity leave now. So instead of just doing 1 or 2 videos a week of streams, starting with Lead Belcher by the way, instead of just doing 1 or 2 streams a week, I'm going to be aiming to do a stream every day now between now and Saturday, and then I'll be taking Sundays off. Just because then we can have obviously a little bit of family time, a little bit of time to do other things on Sundays. But yeah, it just allows us to have a little bit of freedom until the little man arrives as well. But officially as of as of Saturday, I officially started my maternity leave. I'm actually going to start with this base. Painting these wings in the Lead Belcher. I'm sure Ruthven will join us as soon as he's done with work as well. Yeah, I've just keep having a look at Restream, and it keeps going between online, offline, poor connection, and all sorts on Twitch. So I don't think Twitch is actually working very well at the moment. Because Restream is working perfectly fine apparently at the moment, because everything else is fine. So it's just Twitch that's playing up. What I might do, just because it seems to be playing up, is just nope, now 90 minutes saying it's streaming on Twitch. It's really having a mare. Doesn't know what it's doing. I will leave it. I will just leave it. It seems to be playing nice now. Have you been up to much today, Signed? Like most people in life, it doesn't know what it's doing. Ahoy just popped in before going out for din-dins. You are going out for din-dins. Lovely. The technology is having a little bit of a mare, Mr. Nerd. It seems to be liking Twitch and then not liking Twitch, and it's kind of trying to decide. I'm currently on sick leave. Oh goodness, are you okay? Signed. There's a little bit of silver as well on Lion's shoulder, so I'm going to do all the silver parts in one thing today. Is it just like cold and flu season style stuff, or have you come down with something particularly nasty at the moment? I'm physically fine-ish, but I'm just so tired. Oh dear. Is this still from when you had COVID? Because remember you had COVID and you weren't very well for a while, were you? You said you were feeling really run down after that. It's more mental stuff, I understand. I understand completely. I'm very sorry you're going through that, but I do hope that with a little bit of time off you can recuperate and get the support you need and the help that you need. Those pieces down and move on to my next colour. Well, we might as well go on to the dark green stuff, which is most of the figure. Yeah, I'm not working for the month of December. I've got some meds for sleeping and blood pressure. I'm glad you've got some meds to kind of help you with feeling a bit better, hopefully. And obviously the month of December is stressful enough as it is for working. I think, to be honest, if you're going to take any month off for dealing with stress, December's probably the better one to take off. I'm looking forward to my vacation. Are you going anywhere? Oh, you said you're coming over to the UK. We will get that stuff sent to you. We're just waiting for Mr. Nerd to come home and build the ones that I need. And as soon as he's built the ones I need, we'll box up the rest for you. Signed, and we'll send them over. So you have your ghosty boys. Visiting your best friend. That's lovely. Get to use one of my favourite greens again this time. I get to use Caliban green. Although I'm apparently covered in it somehow. Don't know how, that took me like 2 seconds to get it all over me. Because he's not on a base, I have to hold him rather than hold a base, so I'm just trying to be very mindful of as long as the hand I'm holding him on at the bottom hasn't got any paint on it, then it should be okay. It is a very nice green. And Lion is from Caliban, exactly. It's got so much armour. Some beautiful, beautiful armour. So I'm looking forward to seeing this when it's all done. So obviously you can look at a photo and the photos look epic and amazing, but doing it yourself, you're like, ooh, can I do it to that standard? And the answer is I hope so. I think tomorrow when I'm not streaming, I'll have a little look into Twitch and kind of figure out what's going on there, because it keeps jumping between saying it's fine and then saying it's not. And it's just having a bit of a mare. Ooh, I got my first Primarch too. Ooh, who did you get? Beautiful green. Damon Fulgrim. You mentioned that you wanted to get Fulgrim ages ago and you said you were interested, so I'm glad you finally got him. And his Blissbound Warband with Noise Marines. Ooh, very nice. You would have appreciated the last time we went to Warhammer. We had the woman who was serving us, she was a fan of Fulgrim. Yeah, I mean, happy Xmas to myself, I guess. Exactly. It's all great and all people buying you gifts, but sometimes you have to buy yourself gifts as well. To be honest, at this point, all my money's been going on buying stuff for the child that I'm giving birth to. And then every other bit of money is going towards like buying other gifts for other people and Christmas cards and Christmas decorations. So, as it currently stands, I haven't bought anything for myself. But I don't really need to, because Mr. Nerd has bought me plenty of stuff. He's bought me Rotten, so I really don't need to buy anything for me. I wanted either Sanguinius or Vulcan first, but Fulgrim was too good to pass off. Did you go for 40k, Fulgrim? Because I know we were saying on last stream that we wanted to get our hands on Mortarion, but I specifically wanted to get Horus Heresy Mortarion because it just looks so much better and so much cooler. Yes, 40k one, nice. For the 40k, obviously the demon version is just so nice. Yeah, a lot of his armour I'm just having a little bit. The other one is Forge World, I think so. Because his armour's black and green, I'm just double checking the areas I'm painting green are the correct spots. I mean, if they're not, worst case scenario, I'll just go over them again with black, because black will cover a whole multitude of sins. But save myself the extra work. Are you all set for Christmas now then? Signed. Brendan Sullivan. Took me so damn long to paint Johnson that seeing him unpainted again is stressing me out. I am so sorry I'm giving you some form of PTSD. Very sorry. I promise he won't be unpainted for long. He'll be done by the end of this week. But welcome, Brendan. How are you? You're set for Xmas, signed. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. Oh, hello, cat. I just had a cat rub against my leg. Even though he's had dinner and cuddles, he now just wants attention. Don't know why he's wanting attention whilst I'm streaming, but sure. Well, small relief. She's painting him. Exactly. I am painting him. As you can hear banging, my cat is being really insistent that he gets attention. In typical fashion, it's the cat that's been asleep most of the day that is now demanding cuddles. Such an incredible sculpt he is, though. And I'm doing good, thanks. Is this the start of a DA list or a contusion? Oh, continuation, sorry. This is the start for me. Yeah, this week we're going to be doing Lion. I'm going to get him finished this week. I'm doing 2-3 hours each day on him. And then in a couple weeks' time, next week we'll be doing Dark Water. And then once we're done with Dark Water, we'll be moving on to my combat patrol, which is Dark Angels. So this is the start of him. But I do 2 channels, Brendan. So I do this and I do a lore channel. And one on Fridays I do Warhammer lore, and on Mondays I do like Tolkien lore. But I kind of went down the rabbit hole of the Dark Angels and fell in love with them a little bit. So it made it very easy when it came to picking my combat patrol, who I was going to go for. And I went for Dark Angels. Yeah, so I had Lion, I've had him for a few months, and he's just been sat there for a while. He was sat there just staring at me in the box for ages. And then Mr. Nerd, the other half of the channel, aka on here, is you'll see him here as Rothwood Gaming. He's also Mr. Nerd. He's the other half of my channel. He's my husband. He decided to build him for me the other week. He's like, no, you can paint him. I was like, thanks. Havoc. I picked up the line this weekend. Only dry fit the model so far, but looks like the seams lines in the cape are going to be a PITA. They are a little bit. Have you tried using green stuff or anything like that for any of your stuff in the past to kind of help with getting rid of any marks? Same thing happened to me. I read Descent of Angels book 6 in the Horus Heresy line and fell in love with their lore. Now I have a couple thousand points of Dark Angels. Lol. Nice. Very nice, Brendan. I appreciate that. We've only just got into 40k, so we've done the odd occasional 40k figure through like minis of the month and things like that. But we bought the kill team. We very luckily managed to get our hands on the Dead Silence kill team. Very, very luckily managed to get our hands on it. So I spent all of last week painting those, and it's kind of sent us on a little bit of a... I have a tube of Valencia filler, gonna give it a blast tonight. Fantastic. I'd only pick up line for the itty bitties. For the itty bitties, yeah, so they are the... what are they called again? The claret. These guys. If my camera wants to focus on the itty bitties. These little boys. They will be painted as well. They're going to be in a nice red colour though. Normally, like whenever I do any form of painting, I tend to kind of do my own colours, but with 40k I tend to do true to law. But I do need to update the Watchers in the Dark. Yes. They are very, very cool. Let's get into this itty bitty corner. Well, just looking at the back of him at the moment. I'm supposed to get into this itty bitty corner. That's better. Gonna need to do at least, I think, 2 coats of green just to make sure it's the full colour of what I want, but I'm also going to be using a fair bit of black. As I was saying, like at the moment I'm in the last 2 weeks of pregnancy, so whilst I'm waiting for my child to arrive, I'm going to be doing streaming basically every single day. More or less it's going to be 6 days a week, so if you guys want to see like a continuation or like catch up on a figure, then this is kind of the time to do it, because I'm going to be streaming 6 days a week and having 1 day off. So if I suddenly go off the face of the earth or fall off the face of the earth, if I'm sick, I'll obviously mention that I'm sick, but if not, then you can probably guess why. It'll be because a tiny human has decided to enter the world early. Keep knocking him over and I feel bad every time I knock him over. He's just got some space just behind his cape here that I'm filling in. Have you guys got any Warhammer related things that you've purchased or wanting for Christmas this year? Thoughts on next Primarch release? I'm thinking Rust because of the huge Space Wolves model lineup for this year. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Space Wolves are kind of getting a bit of a push this year. So I think it's very, very possible that it could be Space Wolves related. Very, very possible. For Christmas, I got a Land Raider Redeemer that I just finished assembling last night. Ooh, fantastic. Yeah, I do genuinely think this will be the year for Space Wolves. It's kind of just awkward to hold him at the moment because he hasn't got a big enough stand to hold him on, so he's just kind of being twisted and turned. I think for Christmas, obviously it's mostly just lion stuff at this point. Anything lion, dark angels for me. The giant billowing cloak doesn't really help give you a good holding position. No, it does not. And then trying to paint behind it is being a little bit of a bugger, to be honest. So trying to paint behind it to make sure all this cape that's underneath is that green, it's just being a bit of a pain. I heard even the rumour that Lorgar was planning his return. The store manager for my local store is hoping for Russ' return due to the love of the space puppies, due to the love the space boys have been getting. Very, very nice. Hi Gambigo, how are you anyway? How is everybody going? Just doing some Abaddon Black now. I was just having a look on the website to have a look at the different colour variations, because as much as Citadel app is useful, it only shows you like one side of the character, so you can't see every single angle to know where you need to apply all the paints. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at Twitch tomorrow, I think, because I think it's just being a bit too much for pain tonight. It's not wanting to do as it's told. But it was strange, because up until literally right before I hit stream, everything was saying it was good on there. And then the minute I hit stream, it just kind of went, no, I'm dead now. Which sounds like a Twitch thing to do. So thank you everybody who's come over from YouTube to watch this. I was saying earlier on, we're going to be updating the I'll do it tonight before I go to bed whilst I remember. I'm going to be updating what I'm going to be streaming. So this week it's all going to be Lion every day until he's finished, except for Sunday. Sunday will be my one day off. And then from next week we'll be doing Darkwater, because that comes out on Saturday. And then we will... Apologies for yawning there. We will then be moving on to Combat Patrol, where I'll be doing Dark Angels. All of this black that I'm applying now is going to be dry brushed with green, so all of these highlighted or heightened areas, they're going to be covered with a nice green dry brush. I'm eager to see his shield painted. So am I, actually, to be honest. His shield is really, really cool. His shield is going to be a pain, but it's going to be amazing. I'm trying to go around the thing on his knee, but his knee is also black. So never mind. It's me trying to be dainty and delicate. My brother once told me that Dark Angels were supposed to be black, but they had to be printed for the first time they came. When they had to be printed the first time they came out green. To be honest, Dark Angels being black would make sense, obviously with the name. But to be honest, the green and black do make for a really nice colour combination, so works out just fine. So I know Signed likes her Blood Angels. What about you guys? What about Brendan and Gambino? Like, what kind of, what are your preferences? Mr. Nerd who's popped in and out. I know he likes his, he does like his Plague Marines. What about you guys? What do you guys like? Don't forget my Sallies. Cannot forget your Sallies. Could never ever forget your Sallies. And also, are you guys just into the 40k stuff, or do you also like Age of Sigmar as well? Let's get some more black out. The only annoying thing, like when you're going through the painting stage, when you're just at the beginning, you'll paint certain things and you have to be in that trust the process stage, because sometimes you can look at it and you're like, oof. But give it a few more times, like going over certain things and filling more stuff in, and I'll be okay. But right now I'm just looking at this and going, oh gosh, what have I done? Why did I start this? But you have to go through the ugly stages before you get to the nice ones. Yeah, I think if I hadn't gone, I trust that by the end, my mini will look decent. Exactly. That's my mentality, because if I don't go in with that mentality, then I'm going in with like a, it's going to be awful from the get-go. And then I'll probably do an awful job of painting it. Have to trust the process. Nick says hi. Little baby Nix. Hi, Nix. Yeah, the one I had screaming at me and trying to sit on me was Riku. But saying that, I did have my lovely ragdoll cat trying to sit in my lap earlier on today, which he hasn't done for a little while. Mostly because I don't know. He's figured out that I'm carrying a child, but he doesn't quite fully understand it, so it confuses him a little bit. So he hasn't been sitting on me very much. He's just been a bit like sitting near me. So for him to sit in my lap earlier on was quite a pleasure. It was rather sweet. And as you've seen signed in Rothman's Discord, we have the youngest ginger one who was wearing a Christmas jumper. He is still wearing that, by the way. I put it on originally as a joke, and then he realises that he likes it. So now I have a cat that wears a jumper. It's quite amusing to me. Because he's just more than comfortable walking around in this jumper, and if I take it off him, he actually gets a little bit perturbed. A little bit frustrated with me. So instead I've just kind of left it on him to keep the peace. If he seems happy enough wearing it, I will leave him. But of all the cats, I definitely didn't expect a chaotic orange cat to be the one that would like wearing a jumper. Those pics were cute, thanks. Yeah, we literally popped out yesterday to buy some Christmas supplies, and we just thought, oh, would it be funny if we got this, just to put on them for a picture? Yeah, that's no longer a picture, that's now permanent. He's obsessed. Tomorrow's aim is to research a Discord. We'll probably set that up some point by the end of this week. I'll have a Discord set up. With a little bit of help from Mr. Nerd or Rothma. He's going to help me set it up. So that way then we can have a nerdy miniatures Discord. So we can all communicate in there and share photos. Of course, there will be an animal section. So if you have any pictures of your animals, then feel free to share them in there, because I would love to see them. Because obviously I have all of our socials linked in our Discord, and not Discord, linked in our channel now in our video descriptions. So we have a Twitter, we have a YouTube, obviously we have a Twitch, which we're setting up. We have Twitter/X, Reddit, and Blue Sky. Pretty sure I said Twitter twice, but we have a few different links. And we also have a Facebook one that I just need to post some stuff on, and once I've started posting on that, I will then share it. But it's kind of the forgotten child. It's the one that I keep forgetting exists, and I'm like, oh yeah. I do love Old Man Lion though. The few Primarchs I've managed to make it to his old age. He's just grumpy now. Understandably, but You know, he's done the hard part and now he's just kind of in that I just want to be left alone and do my job kind of mindset. Line is definitely amongst the more complex figures I've done so far. Hi Wolfie, hi, I enjoy your energy and what you're building as a streamer. I'd like to be part of the community and support you more. If you're cool with it, here's my Discord. Add me up on Discord. Thank you very much, Wolfie Alice. We're going to be setting up our own Discord as well in the next couple of weeks. By the end of this week, we'll have a Discord set up. So if you want to obviously continue supporting the channel and following the channel, you will soon see the link for that Discord go live as well. Feel free to add there. But we are getting Twitch comments, so clearly something is going right on Twitch. It's looking a little bit grungy now. He's doing his black and green, like, emo-y phase at the moment. We've already been going for an hour. Wow. We're doing alright. When you come over to UK to see your bestie then, Simon, like how long are you staying for? Is it quite a long trip this time? Weeks, nice. I think it's a very decent amount of time. Have you got many plans for whilst you're here? Any adventures or day outs and stuff that you're planning on getting up to? She already has an itinerary for those 2 weeks. Fantastic. I like the sound of your bestie. She sounds like my kind of girl. I like an itinerary. Is it before Christmas or after Christmas that you're going away? I forget. Getting a tattoo, go to Warhammer World, go shopping, go to the Xmas market. That sounds fantastic to me. Before Xmas and return after New Year. Lovely. It's what, like 17 days till Christmas today, I think? So not long now until your trip. Very exciting. No, not long now. How long's the flight to the UK for you? Got a suitcase, got presents. Very organised. Going by Eurostar, so about 2 hours. Not too bad then. Not bad at all, actually. After the disaster last time, not flying again. Oh goodness. Sounds like it was pretty horrific then. I'm just mixing a little bit of Caliban Green with Abaddon Black to do the gloves. I had booked a direct flight from Brussels to Birmingham. It was changed to a flight with a stop in Frankfurt with less than an hour between flights. I arrived in the UK and home without luggage. Oh dear. Very bad then. So no, not flying. I get that. I understand that. It's one of those things where if you have the option to do something other than fly, then I would completely understand why you would do it. Luckily you have Eurostar, so that works for you. Gonna go ahead and do another layer of green now. Hello, Hello friend, I love your streams so much. I love to join you and give you great support. A lot of fan great success will surely come your way. Even if the only thing coming through is bot comments, at least it's getting something from Twitch, because it seems to still be not working very well elsewhere. Hope you have enough green. I do. This is like basically a brand new pot, and we are going out during this week, so worst case scenario, if I run out, I can go up and I can pick up more supplies. Because it's a beautiful green. I'm going to be using quite a bit of it. Yeah, I'm at the point in life at the moment where things are getting a little bit difficult to just do basic everyday things. It's like even getting up and down off this bench that I sit on to do my streams on. Takes me about a good 5-10 minutes just to move around on it. Due to the extra weight of carrying a child. But obviously I won't have that for much longer, so I'm trying to enjoy the moments I can whilst it's still the case. The joy of pregnancy, indeed. I was walking around yesterday with my friend, and bless her, the entire time she's like, I need to get you a basket. Do you need a basket? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I don't need to shop with a basket. It's just a couple of things I need. So, yeah, but you are struggling to even walk, let alone carry anything. I'm getting a basket. So, okay. Whatever you do, Tau are not the little one's first army. No, I agree. They won't be. So have to hide certain things from Rothma, so we can't give them to the little one. But as someone said to me the other day, like, our child's going to get to the point where he's going to have some very expensive toys that he's going to end up playing with. Just having a look at the greens now for the back as well of his cape. It's a much more vibrant green. I'm thinking I might just mix a tiny bit of a lighter green in with my Caliban. And I might go for some moot green, just mix in something to make it a little bit darker. To do the back of his cape. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll mix some moot green with a little bit of that Caliban to do the one on the back of the cape, because I do want to fill that in sooner rather than later. It's quite a large surface area, but this green on its own is far too vibrant. Be a great highlight later. But on its own, it's a bit much. Actually, that's made more or less the perfect green shade. Because the back of the cape, they want it to be this super vibrant green. So I'm going in with just a mix of Caliban and Moot Green, and then I'll darken this up with shading. Ooh, it's a very vibrant green. It is. So this is a combination of Moot and Caliban. So I've kind of muted the vibrancy of this, because obviously before it was like luminescent green almost. But this is, in comparison to the other one, it's really green. So I thought if I just mix the two shades, and then I can use Camellia green shade for the shading as well, and that'll darken it up a little bit more. And also create a really nice contrast effect. There we go. The only issue is that, because obviously I have to do a lot of, like, I have to touch a lot of this to paint certain areas. And I don't want to rob off any of the paint I've already applied. Thank you. So it just limits the amount of surface area I can touch. I think that's a pretty, considering that's just from eye, there's no paint guide for that type of green on the back of his cape. I think I've done a pretty good job there of matching that. Might move on to his skin in a moment, just so we've got a base for that. In fact, I'll move on to his pack, because I've already got the green out for that. So I'll push this off to one side for a moment. I'll move on to his pack. And his helmet. His helmet's mostly black with a bit of red in it, and a tiny bit of gold. Yeah, tiny bit of gold. But I can mostly paint those now as they are. So I'm using Abaddon Black to do the base of the helmet. Kind of hard to hold this away where you can see the detail without blocking it because it's just so tiny. Your tattoo, you mentioned you were getting a tattoo. Do you know what you're getting? I do like those winged helmets for the Dark Angels. They are really cool. Put that down there for a moment so it can dry. Yes, we're getting our favourite flowers, poppy for me and rose for her. Oh, lovely. Very nice. Okay. Just figuring out the placement for the black on the jetpack. Hi, buddy. My cat's yelling at me again. You being needy, mate? You wanna say hi on stream? Cat's just being destructive. Every time he sits down, he's knocking something over or throwing stuff everywhere. But he's very, very cute, so it's 100% worth it. Aren't you, mate? Okay, this is actually mostly green, so I'm going to go in with mostly Caliban green actually for this. Yeah, I woke up the other morning to, it was like 5 in the morning, I want to say. And I woke up to a very loud bang coming from my downstairs. I thought, oh goodness, what is this? Bearing in mind at the moment I can barely walk as it is, so I definitely can't rush to do anything. And I came downstairs and my cat had knocked a plant pot onto the floor. And the plant was on the floor and the cat was looking at me like, it's not me. I didn't do it. Oh, I have a fake fur on my desk. Currently, stuff is on top of it. Nick's wants to jump on my desk, pulled that fur down, and everything that was on top of it. That sounds about right. Because how dare you have stuff placed on top of other things? Where they might potentially want to sit that exact day and never again any other time. Although I'm currently being blessed with the zoomies coming from my 13-year-old cat. She's woke up from her nap, and now she's running around the house like a lunatic, which is quite sweet to see. Like any older animal having fun and acting like a kitten is always cute. Oh, the Ferrari. Yes. Serious case of the Ferrari. She knows no speed limit. Any of the others, I'd kind of tell them to slow down and like respect the speed limit, but because she's 13, I feel like one, if I told her what to do, she'd kill me in my sleep. And two, she'd just give me the filthiest look and judge me, and then I'd feel bad. So, because of that, I'm like, you can do what you want. Just because of your age, you can do what you want. Is there any things in particular that Nyx does that just make her like weird and wonderful? Except from like the usual cat things, if you know what I mean. Like earlier on, my ragdoll decided he would just suddenly start screaming, and he'd always like one or two cries to kind of like tell me about his day. But it was just continuous yelling. I was like, what is the problem? What's going on? And he just kind of looked at me like, nothing. Just need to say something. A lot of something. Just mixing up a little bit more lead voucher because I'm going to go on to the wings of this pack. Yeah, she lays it on top of me whenever I lay down. That's really sweet, though. To be honest, I have that problem right now with Riku. He's the one who's, like I say, has been crying at me and wanting my attention so far. Entire stream so far. He's only just now wandered off. I say that, he's back again now. Made me jinx myself now, mate. You're going to be on me all the time now, I'm sure. Whenever I go to bed, he gets very, very excited and insists on lying on top of me. But because I have to lie on my... Oh, she's a baby. Because I have to lie on my side because I'm pregnant. He just finds the most awkward positions to try and get himself comfortable in. And I think he's just trying to convince himself it's comfortable. When I know for a fact it's probably not. And then every now and then, like, the little one will kick. And it'll freak him out and he'll jump off me and he'll be like, what's that weird sensation? Love a cuddle bug, though. Because she hasn't been well the last like few days, unfortunately. Had a little bit of like a scare earlier on this week. So because of that, I've had the older girl just kind of like sat wherever I am she has to be at the moment. So if I sit down, she's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Wherever you're sitting, I'm sitting with you. And it's really, really quite sweet. What other colours am I looking at? Okay. To be honest, I might go over this green with like more of a... that kind of black green mixture. Just because I feel like it's a bit too vibrant. When Nyx has her zoomies, she is extra floofy. It's a bit like that with the ragdoll when he gets zoomies. he just like fluffs himself up and he goes extra puffy. And he just runs around, well, like nobody's business. I've never seen an animal move the way he does. Well, he gallops, I'm pretty sure. Like he thinks he's a gazelle or a deer or something. He definitely does not think he's a cat. So he just runs around like an animal that is not a cat. Can't believe she's almost 7 years old now. Time goes by really quickly, doesn't it? And have you had her since she was a kitten? That's how I feel about the 13-year-old, because I've had her since she was a kitten. Very lucky though, because she's 13, but she doesn't act 13. Like, she's sleepy and she has like a little bit of a wobble. Yeah, she's the kitten of one of my parents' cats. Oh. Like, every now and then you'll know she's her age when she goes for a nap or something, and she'll get up and she'll be a little bit wobbly. And you're like, oh yeah, there's the reminder that she's not a young girl anymore. But then for the most part, she is full of energy and running around and sweet as anything. So for the most part, she doesn't act like a 13-year-old cat. Which I'm very lucky about, to be honest. I'm very appreciative of. I'm going to be going with some Balthazar Gold now. Yeah, with the 13-year-old, she was originally like a house, like a family cat. But she just connected with me on another level. So when I moved away, obviously me and my husband moved in together, it was like an immediate decision of like, yeah, she's going with you, because otherwise she's going to be lost without you. So I'm very, very appreciative of that fact, and she's very, very happy here. And it's quite amusing because she's tiny, like she's a very small girl. And it doesn't matter because every single one of our other cats, they just know that she rules the house. They're like, yeah, we don't mess with her. She's the lady of the house. We do whatever she says, and it's really, really, really cool to see these three, in comparison to her giant cats, all kind of looking at her like there's something about this one that's scary. Like, if I mess with her, I'm crossing a bad egg here, so I'm going to behave myself. I think she knows that as well. She's like, Nix also doesn't meow, she's more like a squeak. Yeah, the only one who meows really is Riku. And he just kind of just yells. Our ginger boy, Sid, he squeaks. He doesn't know how to meow. It's like one singular noise, and that is it. And that is his noise. They were yelling at me right before I started streaming. So obviously, at the moment, because obviously it's winter, it's getting darker a lot earlier. So as soon as it gets dark now, they think it's dinner time. I'm like, no, it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's nowhere near your dinner time. You need to just chill for a bit. And they get really impatient. I'm like, no, but it's dark. That means it's dinner time. For this, I'm going to go in with the Balthasar Gold as the base, and I'm going to highlight using Retributor Armor. Because I use Retributor Armor for everything, so it's quite nice to have something else that's a base. Of just Retributor Armor all the time. Move that out of the way. For the sword, I'm going to have to base it. Another random bot Twitch comment. Okie dokie. So I'm just clicking between the links, just making sure everything's still running smoothly for the most part. For the sword, it's got like a blue hue to it. So I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to go about achieving that. And I think the best way to do that, I can't manage dry brushing with metallics, it's so streaky. I've only managed it a few times with it, where it's just been okay, but if not, I do have these really, really thin brushes where I can go in and I can then just drag it down set sections. Especially if I only have a tiny bit on my brush, I can kind of blend it in that way. For his sword, I'm going to go in with a base of, because I'm going to be using this shade, the Coelia green shade, to kind of make it the type of metal they're after. But it recommends lead belcher, but I think I might go in with Stormhost Silver instead. My cat just demanding attention again. I have to be really careful, because if I don't give him attention then and there, he will just be really dramatic and knock something over. And obviously I have a lot of equipment here for streaming, so I have to kind of give him attention in that exact moment, otherwise he just throws a tantrum. But I'm going to go in with Stormhouse Silver, I think, rather than Lead Belcher. Because I just feel like the green's going to show up a bit nicer on a slightly lighter base anyway. I know I could go over it and then I could highlight using the Stormhost, but I kind of just want to do this and the shade. Plus Stormhost it's a layer paint, so it's quite thin anyway. But I was like the idea of thinner the better for the silver underneath. There we go. Right. Now I think it's time we move on to this base with our little guys. Yeah, going on to this base now, which is mostly brown with a little bit of black, some bone shades, and of course we've got our two boys, which are going to be painted in corn red, but then when I do my shading later it'll darken them up a little bit. I do want to pick up some new, I've seen like a few different dry brushes, but I do want to pick some up off Amazon mostly. But there's just like more thicker, bouncy, dense ones. They're kind of similar in shape to this one. And I just feel like they'd be really, really helpful with targeting set areas. Because they're rounder, I don't know if it will help me with producing like a more soft finish rather than any streaky edges. But I don't know. Could just be in my head, but I feel like it will help me. So I'm going to go in with some corn red, and I'm going to paint the bases of both of these guys. But what I might do is actually mix that with a tiny bit of Mornfang brown. Makeup brushes are great help. Yeah, to be honest, I can probably pick up those cheaper. Tiny bit of Mornfang brown in with this corn red, just to make it the more reddish brown that I'm after. Could just use Doomball brown, which I've used before, but I want it to be more red than Doomball. But not as red as corn red, if that makes sense. Yeah, I can probably pick up a bunch of cheap makeup brushes. Really easy. Because the one I just showed you is a makeup brush. Yeah, I think I've made the perfect colour now. So in the end, I ended up mixing corn, Doomball brown, and a tiny bit of Mornfang brown to make this reddish brown that I'm going to be applying. Because once I apply the shade over this later, it'll obviously go more of a maroony colour. My paintbrushes come from Temu, and I have a huge pile of makeup brushes. They do the trick though. It's the thing, like, brushes don't have to be expensive. They're as expensive as you want them to be. Ain't stupid if it works, exactly. Completely 100% agree with you there. The ginger cat that is wearing the jumper has just woke up from his nap, and he is still in his little festive jumper, and he looks adorable. We have like a cat tower right next to where we record, and he's just poked his head out from it being inside there, and he's like half disheveled, doesn't know what in the world is going on, bless him. I do like your idea though, Side, of getting some more of these guys and just painting them really fun colours. Congratulations, you reached 100 messages today with Restream chat. Yay! Thanks for the help with that one, Signed. You're welcome, thank you. It's kind of created this browny red shade. And when I go over with Agrax later, it should darken this up quite nicely. I won't be doing any of the shading today. So we've already been going for 2 hours, nearly. I'm probably going to go for another half hour. Because what I want to do with this is I want to do like an extra shade layer of the green. And then a few extra layers of other things. I just want to leave that to dry overnight. I don't want to mess with it or touch it whilst it's potentially still wet. And then tomorrow we'll crack on with it. Because like once the base is done, shading will take me an hour maybe to do all the shading in total. And then once I've done that, it'll be on to highlights, which I've got quite a few highlights to do on these because they are quite cool and they're quite detailed. So the highlighting will be the long time consuming part. And also because I have not eaten dinner yet before I started streaming. So I want to finish at a reasonable enough time that I can still eat. So that's a mistake on my part though. I spent the last 2 hours. The sheer amount of detail in this model alone is going to drive me nuts. Doesn't bode well for my Fulgrim. Yeah, Fulgrim's obviously quite a deal bigger than this little guy. It'd be awesome when he's done though. Playing devil's advocate a little bit there. He'll look great when he's done. It'll be worth it. Yeah, since we went through Restream, I didn't have to sort out anything with the comment section. Because I got your message yesterday regarding the issue potentially being on our end. But I didn't actually need to fix it, because as soon as I connected to today's stream through Restream, it's allowed every single comment to come through. So far, everything's going well. What I might do at the very end as well is an actual proper basing video for this, just because like this is really, really cool, but I actually want to add some texture and some textile to this rather than just paint. nearly there with the base for these boys. There we go. Yeah, the other day when I wasn't feeling too well, signed, that actually ended up being a case of me being hospitalised for them to go, yeah, your baby could be coming sooner than we thought. And I was like, oh, cool, wonderful. So, being at home and being on like bed rest as such is probably the best time for me to be doing all of this stuff. Because then I can paint and chill and just wait for my child to make his appearance into the world. Just mixing up a little bit more black now, because I'm going to do this skeleton. Oh no, hope you and Itty Bitty are alright. We're completely fine. He's completely fine. They weren't concerned about him at all. They basically took me in and they were like, oh, looks like your body's preparing you to go into labour. I was like, okay, cool. And they said, in the next like couple of weeks or so. I was like, ah! Yeah, but no time at the present to paint. Exactly. Not to mention, whilst he's not here, I can stream and paint. And I can like communicate and like talk to people whilst doing it, and it's a little bit more engaging. But I am saving like a lot of my war cry stuff for my first couple of weeks of pregnancy, of like mum life. So when he's napping, just to keep myself sane, I have like a little project between obviously cleaning the house and stuff and getting everything else prepared. Has he loaded? Yes, dramatically. Very dramatically. Like he's very, very low at this point. And not only that, but I don't know if you know much about the percentile system. But they were like, yeah, he's in the 97th percentile. He's a big baby. I'm like, thanks, wonderful. I am not a big human. I'm a tiny human. Yes, the other day when I was like, oh, I can't stream, it was basically comatose on the sofa with pain meds. So I was like, yeah, I can't even talk, let alone do anything else. A tiny human who feels big at times, I suppose. Very much so. Like when he comes into the world, I'm sure I'll be telling everybody how tiny he is. And but right now, whilst he's still growing away, whilst he's still growing away, he feels quite large and quite big and quite heavy. But equally, I know the minute he comes, I'll be like, how are you this small? A lot of the base is covered in like metal shrapnel fragments and bones, so I'm just trying to decide kind of what colours they mostly are so I can paint those accordingly. They don't stay small for long though. No, they do not. Especially not to the standard that you consider small. Like when it's your child, you will see them grow very, very quickly, and everyone else will be like, oh, they're so tiny still, and you're like, no, they're not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the second layer of green on this for now, and then I'll go back to the base and do all those shrapnel pieces. And then of course I've got this lion pelt here that I need to paint. Which luckily will be mostly one colour. Look, everyone at work when I was Lion's wearing a lion pelt. Who'd have thunk? It's like Liam Russ wearing a wolf pelt. I know. It's insane. Pure insanity. There we go. So the second coat of green. Looks very, very nice. That will obviously look even better once I've been able to actually paint the shades and stuff onto it. A lot of these coats that I'm leaving white underneath, they're all going to be like a cream colour. So I don't want to do those until I've completely finished everything else, just because they were going to be a pain in the behind if I have to go over them again after putting a dark colour on top. So I'm just making sure everything else is pristine and perfect before I get to that stage. I know that Rogal Dorn has a pelt of fur from his childhood that he still keeps with him. Oh. It's just little things in the lore, isn't it? Just little extra bits. Yeah, once that green's dry, we'll do his pelt, which I'm going to use Zamesi Desert for as the base, and then I'll go over that with Skeleton Horde Contrast, I think. Just because I think that'll be more of a lion-y colour. But for now, we'll go back to this little guy. So, oh, my cats are fighting. Consider the man that has charisma of a brick wall was a nice little tidbit. Yeah. Yeah, considering that has the charisma of a brick wall. Yeah. To be fair, there are a few of them where I'm pretty sure they don't communicate in words. They just communicate in grunts and groans. And that's about it. And the only other way they communicate is through, like, death and destruction. And war. Of course, then you get people like Sanguinius, who's just, like, pretty chilled. For the most part. Pretty nice guy. Communicates pretty eloquently. And then you get others who I'm pretty sure just groan and grunt. Exactly. Exactly. Just going in with lead belcher over most of these pieces at the moment. There's definitely a lot of them who have like an issue obviously with their pride, and the minute that gets hurt, it's just game over for the rest of the world. Everything has to be destroyed. Obviously Horus is particularly bad for that one, but hey ho. He was also corrupted, so it's one of those things. Just getting a little bit more of Balthazar gold now. What I'll do tonight as well is I'll go through my next lot of paints and I'll get them out and sorted. So tomorrow, if I'm having any technical issues with the streams or anything like that, at least I don't have to like delay the stream further by having to sort my paints out again. Well, what do you expect from a demigod? Exactly. And not to mention, what do you expect with the Emperor as a father? They are the plethora of daddy issues. Yeah, and they are all the representation of him exactly. Different elements of him. I think for his crown here that he's got around his head, I'm going to go in with Retributor armor. Because I'll do the same for his backpack as well. Bit too much water came out of my brush there. Dripped straight into it. Yeah, I think that gold's quite a nice contrast there with the Balthazar gold. Now this is dry. I'll do the crown section on this with Retributor armor as well. in recent comments, I've had a few men in my comment section mansplaining Warhammer to me again. Signed. People saying, obviously, like, be careful with talking about this particular piece of lore because some people are really protective of the lore. I'm like, I completely get that. Like, absolutely. And then I've had the odd comment here and there where it's been people saying, like, either I'm really new to it and don't understand it, or it's potentially because I'm a female that I don't understand the Warhammer lore. So that's been interesting. Yeah. For the most part, I get really, like, nice comments. And then every now and then I'll get a really, really random one. Like, I had one the other day that was talking about, because I did a video on the Emperor, before he was known as the Emperor. And someone said, I imagine in the world of who he was before, he was like Bob Ross and people like that. And that's like a really nice, funny, silly comment. And that I can appreciate. But some of them, I'm like, oh yeah. Those are gatekeepers by the sound of it, absolutely. And then I've got a couple of people warning me about gatekeepers. Just being like, just remember, if these people come across your channel, they're going to rip you to pieces because it's not lore accurate to what they know or what they think is true. I'm like, thank you, wonderful, thank you for letting me know, I appreciate it. But some people just get very defensive. Very defensive indeed. I think I'm going to go in with this Retributor armor on his shoulder panel, just whilst I've got it out. Lore changes, the hobby changes, exactly. And in some cases, like, a lot of the lore I was telling from was like really old lore. And people were like, well, this isn't accurate to the lore now, so just be careful because some people might not like this. Like, if people can actually give me, like, constructive criticism, absolutely, 100% all for that. And if people want to say, oh, I prefer this version of the lore, absolutely fine with that. Like, share secrets, tell me stuff. I like to know that kind of thing. I do it a lot with my, like, Lord of the Rings stuff. There's certain topics in that where I'm not, like, 100% versed, but I'm pretty well versed. But of course, there are people out there who've, like, literally studied this and they're going to know it better than I do. And if those people can come in the comment section and comment stuff, I'm like, yes, please, let me know. I like knowing the different versions of the lore. It's just nice to know. Exactly. That's my opinion on it. I think if I'm reciting one version of the lore, and it's not made up, it is one version of the lore, I'm still telling a lore, I'm still doing a lore video. It's just older lore than what they're probably expecting. But obviously people have their preferences on lore as well, which is completely fine. But it's stuff that they then will identify as being canon because it's their preferred version of the lore. I'm assembling the mini of the month, and I have not only lost the nozzle to my glue, but also an arm of the mini. That never changes. Some things always stay the same, unfortunately. Found the arm. Awesome. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this trim. I think by the time I've done that, it'll be more or less time for me to end the stream for today. I can understand people wanting to protect their hobby, but from what? Change is constant everywhere. Absolutely. And not only that, but it's not like I'm coming in and going, I think this is actually what happened, and like using, like saying stuff with absolutely no evidence to back up my claim. Like I'm using old law. It's like, again, like I was mentioning it the other day, that people are like very, very protective, obviously, of Tolkien's work, understandably so. And the most recent, obviously, encounter is with the Rings of Power, because obviously the Rings of Power is not lore accurate to Tolkien at all. It's an interpretation, and I'm a big believer in, like, once stuff goes out into the world, everything. Because I have an English literature degree. That's what I did for my study. And one of the things we learned was once your work goes out into the world, it's no longer yours, because everyone is going to interpret it different. And because of that, you have to be open to people interpreting things differently and being more open to the fact that people are going to view things differently to the way that you did, perhaps. And the way I view, same with like the War of the Rohirrim movie, like I'm like, is it 100% not accurate? No, absolutely not. But it's, you know, it's an interpretation of it that people can get so like on their high horse about and so offended, and like, if he was alive today, he would never have authorised this. I'm like, you're probably right, but you know, he's not an eternal being. His work is eternal, but he's not. So because of that, there's going to be interpretations of it for the rest of my known life and our known life. It's going to be different to how Tolkien would have probably interpreted it. And but there was a particular character, I did a video on the character of Adar from The Rings of Power, and it got a lot of attention. And most of the comments were negative. It's just people being like, how can you support this blasphemous stuff? I'm like, technically this character is not blasphemous because he's not a Tolkien character. He's an Amazon-owned character. So therefore he cannot be blasphemous because he is not Tolkien's. Hi, Cat. Well, yeah, no one knows Tolkien personally, exactly. The only ones who did know him personally, for the most part, are no longer around anymore, because they were his children, so, and grandchildren and stuff like that, so. Everything's interpreted at the end of the day, like in our modern world. Everything's an interpretation. Even like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, like the Hobbit movies themselves, in my opinion, are actually good movies. They're just not good for in regards to like lore, because they missed out a bunch of stuff. But as far as the movies go, they're not bad movies. So again, it's just everyone interprets things differently. Alright, he doesn't want to stay up. Right, I'm going to call it there for tonight. Just going to let the pieces that I've got here dry. And then next stream, I'm going to be focusing on doing his shield, his shoulder piece here, which is like multiple different colours. And then I'll do his skin and his belt and all of his robes underneath in their brown shade. But I want to do everything else before I do that kind of creamy off-white colours, just because I'm a bit scared of ruining it. But we'll do that for now. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Yeah, let the lion sleep tonight. Let the lion sleep tonight and let me sleep tonight. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching today. I appreciate it. Thank you everybody who joined. So of course signed, and then we've got, who else did we have? We have signed, we had Brendan, Havoc, obviously Mr. Nerd when he stayed briefly, Gambingo, like thank you everybody else. Genuinely thank you everybody for tuning in and watching today. It's greatly appreciated. Hopefully tomorrow everything will be working a bit more better with the technology wise, and we can crack on more with more Lion. So, yep, I will see you guys tomorrow night at 6 p.m. again for more streams. So if you want to continue to watch how this develops, then please tune in for that. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening or day, whatever time of day it is for you guys in the world.